Hey there, guys. So we are back with another renovation, but we already did this one. So when I did if you haven't seen it already, I tried custom content. I forgot to save the original build of this. So when I got in, it was like everything was gone because I had to remove the custom content. It was making my game glitchy. I have no idea why. It only does it with like custom content. Like if I do mods like the MC Command Center or some other ones, those work fine. But the minute I have custom content, it's like, what is this? Don't let it touch me, and the game freaks out. So I was having issues and trying to record rags to riches, and so I got rid of it, and I completely forgot that I hadn't like saved this house, and yeah, so we're redoing it. I tried to go kind of like a minimalist, almost like Tumblr apartment style. It's not really where I wanted it to be, but I was getting so frustrated, so I kind of got it to a place where I was like, oh hey, I kind of like this, and went with it. I do want to like give a heads up that towards the end I was having such trouble decorating that like 90% of this video was just the decorating. So I chopped a lot of it out, so it will be a little choppy when we get down at that point. But I kind of wanted to try doing something very focused, and I was like, what if I do like a booktuber? So I wanted like a setup with a bunch of bookshelves and stuff, and like the what is it called? I can't remember what it's called on it. The like video studio it has. So that's kind of where I went with it, and at first I was trying to make it like a one bedroom, but it ended up being just a kind of wacky studio apartment. I have a knack at making like the architecture part really kind of wacky, and then I'm like, wait a minute, what am I doing with this? So this build changed quite a bit. As you will see, I was trying to like fit everything in and switched around some different rooms, and off to the side you can see where like the pipes and the breaker box was. I was like, I don't really want to know like have to work around this. I'd rather just kind of cut it off and make it like a storage closet. And I didn't add more than just like a broom in it, but you kind of get what it's supposed to be for. And if you use this at any point, you can obviously like fill it with more things. But yeah, and then I was kind of going for like cozy feel. Like the chairs there were kind of like an older cozy look. I didn't want to go very super sleek and super modern, and I just kind of wanted cozy minimalist, like, yeah. So the biggest part was trying to fit the living room and like the book area, video area together in this space. And so I kind of redid the bedroom, redid the storage room, that's what I'll call it. And then I was like, oh wait, at one point I'm like, I can cut the like shift the bathroom into here and make it just like a weird bathroom, but it wouldn't fit. So I was like, okay, never mind. And I realized once I got the video studio in here that it was a lot bigger than I had thought. And I was like, oh no. And also, like, I felt like the shelf was so bare. Like, this is like the ones that had a ton of books were kind of like the old, like, traditional, very like you'd see it in an old library shelf, and I wanted something more like you'd buy at a store or IKEA or something, but none of them really had stuff on it. And I was like, of course, like of course it does. So I went with the one that's there. I can't remember the name of it. It's like the L-shaped one, because I thought that was a pretty good size, and you'd obviously see it in the video, and like it kind of made a divider. As I got further along, I removed the wall to this little bedroom that I was trying to make, and it kind of acted as a divider between the studio and like the living area. The bed actually ends up where the little studio is right now. And I shifted the storage closet, and later on I turn on move objects and I shift that wall in even farther, so it's just like a long 1 square wide closet, which I thought was fine because, like, you sometimes have odd closets in apartments. But this is kind of when I was like, okay, I think I can make this work if I shift these around. And I shifted the studio around later on as well because I was like, this just is weird. Like, I couldn't really figure it out. And I was like, it's kind of odd having the couch there. And yeah, this one was getting me quite a bit. And I don't know, like, sometimes I can do small spaces really well, like studio apartments, and this time it was just kicking me in the butt. And I was just getting so frustrated, and I was like, okay, come on, like, what if I do this? What if I do that? So, like I kind of said, like, the ending isn't where I wanted it, but I was happy with how it came out. At some point, I think I tried to make that like a window. It didn't work, and so then I made it into the kind of metal white divider that's over by the bed there, and I thought that looked kind of cool. It kind of gave the apartment walls without really giving it inside walls, which was kind of interesting to me. And it wasn't really the vibe I was going for, but I was like, it works. And so yeah, at this point I was like, I'm leaving the TV stand alone and I'm going to put some wardrobes in. And I put the 2 little ones in, and I think I add another one down the line right next to the door to the storage closet. I think I went through a couple different ones trying to figure out what looked best there. I think I had a tall one at first, and it was just like too much space. It kind of made the room feel smaller in a way, so I changed it to a small one. And I put the wall back there. In the beginning, I don't know if you realized that I had like a little square around the door so I wouldn't put things too close. And so I did put one of the walls back because I kind of was thinking like having not really an enclosed kitchen, but make it feel it a little bit. And I also changed the wallpaper around the kitchen, so it kind of helped make that separation. I thought this sink was really cool. I thought it was unique, and I was like, I could do some more unique things in this build, even though I have this idea that I'm trying to go for. And so, like, I was really happy with how this bathroom kind of came out. It was very small, but it was fun in a way. Like, it had a nice feel to it, and I was struggling with getting the camera had to go in the right place so I could look at things, and because I made the big mirrors, I didn't know what to put above the sink, so I ended up putting just those little picture frames, and I felt that kind of worked. It wasn't exactly, like, I'm still kind of like, I don't really know if I like that, but it works for now. And it took me forever to find the wallpaper I wanted for this. It was just like, I didn't want it too dark, but I didn't want it too white either. So I was just doing a bunch of different things, going back and forth. I was just like, ugh. And then I found that one where I had like the bricks along the bottom, but most of it was white. And I was like, ooh, I like this. So I went with that. And then this one I went with this kind of like paneled wall. And at first I was like, I didn't even want to do it. But then I was like, wait, that actually kind of adds a nice texture without getting like too wacky and off the mark for this apartment. And then I made the floor in the kitchen hardwood, and the rest of it was just the carpet. At first I wanted to put the ottoman there and like have it as like a little like take your boots off kind of thing when you get through the door, because there is that little coat rack in the corner, but I removed it down the line because it was just not what I wanted. And I think I ended up putting more counters there and had the microwave on it and like a fruit bowl. And I feel like that turned out pretty good. I liked how it went. And so then I'm adding the shelves, and I skipped there. That was one of the skips. I was just struggling with what to decorate, and I did want a lot of like plants or greenery because I feel like white and green, like if you're doing a minimalist, like very white apartment, to have a lot of green, I feel like it stands out. And so that's what I was kind of going for without going too like plant obsessive. I think I want to do one that is based more on plants in the future. I don't think I've done one. Maybe I have. I don't remember. With a lot of plants and like a focus on plants. So that'll be coming soon at some point. Just trying to get everything back on track and slipping behind in some things and getting ahead in others. So I'm trying. And I put a coffee pot over here, but at first I was like, oh, we don't need the microwave. Like, it'll be fine. And then I ended up adding it anyway. I had tried to move the table over there. I forgot what it was called. I was going to say the box, but that's not a box. And it just, I don't know, it didn't fit as well as it did, like, kind of snug in against the dividers. And down the line, I put some like fairy lights on the dividers, and I think they looked super cute, and so I went with that. And I was trying to figure out like what I could do with that to make it a little longer, but then I just left it there, and I think it came out pretty good. I feel like I should have added something above it, like a shelf, but I did add this plant, and so it kind of made it look a little nicer. So didn't add the shelf in, but. And then I kind of did different lighting in different places. I did the nice lighting over here just because, I mean, the curtain is there. The window is there, but then to have like a bright, nice light also helps with like recording and everything. So that's where I went for with that section. And obviously in the kitchen you saw the dangling lights. And I think by the bed I just do like the plant light. So I decorated the bookshelf to add some like little trinkets and stuff to it. And then I think I went on to, I don't remember, the desk? No, I did the desk. I just did the desk. I don't think I showed that. I did cut quite a bit out just because it was taking so long, and I'd pause and I'd go look at inspiration, and I'd come back and I'd be like, I don't really know. And I'd just get more and more frustrated. Like the wall by the bed, between the bed and the desk was just the toughest part, and I took a lot of time on that. I did like how it turned out in the end, but until then I was kind of just like, oh my god, please just let this go. And so there's those lights. I thought it was super cute and kind of just added to the little seating area there. And then I added some, I think it was the Brightchester stuff. I wasn't going to at first, but then I was like, oh, this is kind of cute. Like, have some of the college stuff, because the person that's living in this is a young adult. I think that looked awesome, and I used the Brightchester because it was more green, and because I was going with a kind of green planty feel, I left it at that. And there's that wardrobe that I had there for a little bit, and it felt too bulky for the space, so it does get removed down the line. And I felt like I needed more here in this little corner than what was here, but I left it at that because I was, like I had said, trying to go for the minimalist, and I was like, well, you don't cover the walls and everything, and already there was a lot of stuff in the space for kind of a minimalist space. And so then I was kind of trying to figure out, oh, what if I covered, when I was doing the curtains, I covered the door to the storage one with a curtain, and it didn't look right. So I had removed it and left it where it is. So we are now getting close, kind of towards the end. I think I finish up this section and then it will go into the screenshots. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this second redecoration of this apartment, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.